What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. We are headed to Ethan's house. He is going to be the shooter tonight. I'm going to film. We're going to go sneak up on a feeder that's been having some hogs hit it pretty frequently, but we haven't had an SD card in the camera for a while, so we don't know exactly what they're doing. Have you ever spot and stalked before?
I've never spot and stalked.
He's never spot and stalked before. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to put him on his first spot and stalk pig. It's a ton of fun. I do it a whole lot. And it's a much more of a challenge. So the wind is perfect for us tonight, and it's blowing like 10-15 miles an hour. So 22? Okay, 22 miles an hour. Okay, correction. 22 miles an hour. We're gonna sneak over to this feeder, but first we're gonna stop by the house. He's gonna change. We're gonna grab a bow light and some other stuff, and then head on.
Sniper hog light, baby, all day.
We're gonna head on over to the feeder. If you haven't already, go check out Sniper Hog Lights. They will be linked below. We are headed to the feeder. We've got about a 150-yard walk, and the wind is perfect in our face. We're going to sneak in. Yes, shorts and snake boots are okay, I promise. Because I'll be laughing at him whenever he gets snake bit. Bow setup to carry his quiver, so he only brought one arrow with him. It was a clean miss over their backs.
I suck. I'm sick right now.
We snapped back out of there. I was watching one of the hogs through this camera, and one of them turned around and walked back to the feeder. So we eased out of there. We got another arrow. Actually, we're bringing the whole quiver. I'm gonna carry it, and we're gonna sneak back in, and see if we can shoot another one.
I'm sick.
What do you think about your first experience?
I'm sick right now, dude.
Pretty awesome, though.
It was fun, but I don't know. I rushed the shot. I rushed everything. That's the number one rule. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all: never rush, because you rush, you miss. Oh my god.
Lessons learned for your first time spotting and stalking. It's a blast. It's so much fun.
Unless you miss, then it makes you sick.
Unless you miss. We're gonna sneak back in, and hopefully they'll be standing there again. The reason why we knew that they were there is because as we were walking up, we were like a good, 50 or 60 yards?
Yeah.
We were like 50 or 60 yards from the feeder, and we start seeing all these deer running away. I don't know if I captured that. back in and hopefully redeem ourselves. Let's do this. Well, what do you think?
It's fun. Pisses me off, but it was fun.
I guess that's why they call it hunting and not killing. I don't know. It's just a blast. Like, it's a ton of fun. But I don't know. What happened? Explain.
All right, so we're going out there, and we decided, as y'all saw, I was gonna shoot through this opening in a tree. Well, everything would have been perfect, and so I get down, and it was my fault. I didn't zoom the bow light in enough because I was scared they were gonna see us, or see the shadow and spook. And so I couldn't really see them. I couldn't really see my pins. 100% my fault. And I knew about where they were at, but instead of being the smart guy and letting down and zooming in the light a little bit, I rushed it. I freaked out, target panic, whatever you want to call it, and I cost myself a pig. You know, during the day, I take my time. I make sure everything's going good, but at night, I just got to get better. You know, y'all have seen, this is the second video where I've made bad shots at night, and it's starting to make me mad. It's starting to get old. A lot of fun. I got to get better. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I agree. And a good tip for you guys to do, and I was telling him this too, was if you plan on hunting at night and using a bow light, go out into the backyard and take 10, 15, 20 shots in the dark with only your bow light. Use what you're going to use in the field and practice with that. I know for a fact that I don't do that enough, and you know, it's just going to be something that we practice more and more.
I practice in the dark a lot, but it's never pitch black. I've always got some sort of other light, and that's stupid on my part because it's not how it's going to be out here.
We don't use our bow mounted lights enough, and so I think that's something that we need to work on. The good news is that they actually gave us a chance. You know, the wind was in our favor. They didn't smell us, they didn't hear us, they didn't spook or anything. We were actually able to sneak in there and get a shot. We were closer than I thought we were.
We ended up being 14 yards when we thought we were 20 to 24.
14 to 15 yards. I mean, it was close. It was super close, and I didn't even realize it because we were watching everything through the camera. But I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes. Judging is another thing you guys can practice at night whenever
I'm horrible at it.
Yeah. In the daytime too. He's horrible at it in the daytime.
I'm horrible. You know, I can hear animals before anybody else, but when it comes to seeing how far they are or anything like that, I'm horrible.
Judging the distance, that's kind of my job, but that's something else you guys can practice at night because it's completely different. You won't even realize that how close you are to something at night because it just throws off your distance perception. I don't know. It's a totally different ball game when it's not bright outside.
It's like, you know, I don't really make many bad shots during the day, but as soon as that sun goes down, you know, I freak out. Yeah. And so that's on me tonight. You know, I'm not going to make excuses. It was all on me. I messed that up. It was a blast though. They gave us a shot, and that's all you can ask for. You know, they give you an opportunity, and if you miss, it's not because, most of the time it's not because of your equipment, it's not because of any of that stuff. You missed. So I'm gonna own up to it, and it sucks.
Operator error. And
man, it sucks.
And you know, it is fun to take an AR-15 with thermals and suppressors and stuff and go sneak up on them in a field and just kill them like that. I mean, it is a ton of fun. It's something that him and I have both done. But there's just something about taking a bow and sneaking up on a group of hogs like that at a feeder or out in a field or whatever it may be. There's just something about it because you have to close the distance. You have to use a light. There's just more.
It's harder.
It's harder. Yeah.
I mean, there's really
it's more of a challenge. There's more things that could go wrong, especially with, you know, turning a light on them. Now we do use the best bow lights on the market, and so that's how we're able to be successful at night a lot of the times. But it's nothing like just taking a rifle and shooting them from 150 yards away with suppressors and thermal on an AR-15. That's a challenge. You know, like I said, we were within 15, 20 yards, and you got to make it happen. And we were there, and I would say it was a successful hunt. I really would. Even though you know you missed, but I would say that because we were able to get to the distance that we were and everything go right and actually be able to get a shot off, I would say that that part was a success. Now
the shot wasn't.
The whole shot,
The
you know,
shot wasn't.
that's not the way we wanted it to end, but
It's a learning. So it was a learning experience for me.
hunting, not killing. So his first time spotting stalking. I've done it tons of times over the years and killed hogs that way, and it's just a lot of fun. It's more of a challenge, but like you said, you guys can practice your shooting at night with only your bow light. Only use the gear that you're going to use out in the field while you're practicing.
Learn from my mistakes, guys.
Yeah, and another thing you can do is just, you know, step out in the backyard and practice your judging distance when it's dark outside. Heck, do it in the daytime too. And take a rangefinder or step it off or whatever you want to do to figure out the distance, and then judge it at night and see how you do. I mean, it's difficult. Or just pick an object and guess what you think the distance is, and then take a rangefinder to it and see how far or how close you were to actually being right. It's just some of those skills that we need to practice and hone, and maybe we'll be successful in the fields. But we would love to show you guys killing all the time, but you know, as we've shown you in our previous videos, we can't always do that. It's a struggle some nights, and some nights we're successful and we shoot really big hogs with our bows. But it's a whole lot of fun, and we are going to be back out, I think, Saturday night. We're going to be out again here in the next few nights to try to make it happen again. But whole lot of fun. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you haven't already, you can check us out on Instagram at 4B Bow Hunting and Outdoors. I will leave the link in the description. You guys can go check that out. I think that's
all for me, really.
Pretty much it. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we thank you so much for all the support and all the growth that we've seen here in the last month. And now, like we've said 1,000 times, you know, summertime, we have free time, so we will be pumping out the videos. You guys will be seeing fishing, more hunting, blah blah blah, whatever. So we're looking forward to it, and we will catch you guys on the next one.